Welcome. We've got some thrilling Arsenal news lined up for you, so stay tuned until the end to catch all the latest updates. And don't forget to leave 300 likes to keep us motivated in bringing you the latest Arsenal updates. Arsenal v Liverpool, a proper tactical chess match ends in stalemate. It was a right old tactical battle at the Emirates on the 8th of January, with Arsenal and Liverpool cancelling each other out in a tense 0-0 draw. The Gunners, in their usual 4-3-3, bossed the first half proper, converting their backline into a 3 with Declan Rice or Martin Zubimendi dropping deep, fullbacks pushing on, and rotations on the right through Bukayo Saka and Jurrien Timber causing Milos Kerkez all sorts of grief. Saka's dribbling open channels for crosses, but the final ball into the box was lacking no real connection with the likes of Viktor Gyökeres up top. Arteta's lads penned the Reds in, racking up attacks, but gave away some sloppy balls that stopped them staying compact and really dominating. After the break, Onslaught's men flipped the script in their 4-2-3-1 setup, taking control of possession with Florian Wirtz dropping deep to overload the midfield and better build-up play. They defended Arsenal's first phase more stoutly, dominated the ball and created overloads, but without a proper recognised striker and poor decision-making in the final third, they couldn't turn it into chances. No shots on target despite all the huff and puff. Conor Bradley nearly nicked one with a chip off the bar early doors. But overall it was a game of contrasting halves where both sides showed their strengths and flaws, leaving the points shared and Arsenal still 6 clear at the top. A frustrating night for the Gunners, but a decent point for the visitors. Up the Arsenal anyway. Onslaught speaks out. Arsenal stay top despite goalless draw with Liverpool at the Emirates. Arsenal remain comfortably top of the Premier League table as we head into mid-January 2026. After 20 matches, the Gunners sit 6 points clear of both Manchester City and Aston Villa, one of their strongest starts in living memory. The faithful are daring to dream that Mikel Arteta might finally end the 22-year wait for a league title, something not seen since the Invincibles lifted the trophy back in 2004. The thumping 4-1 win over Aston Villa last time out was a proper statement, clinical in attack and rock solid at the back, with Arsenal still boasting the meanest defence in the division. That said, the 0-0 stalemate against Liverpool at the Emirates on the 8th has got everyone talking. It stopped the lead stretching to 8 points, but plenty are tipping their hat to how well the lads stood up to the champions. Pundits on the BBC, Sky Sports and in the broadsheets have been full of praise for Arsenal's ability to keep Liverpool quiet, especially in that first half. The likes of Steve Nicol on ESPN are calling Arsenal genuine title favourites now, pointing to the squad depth and consistency as they face a hectic January with FA Cup, Carabao Cup and Champions League ties all coming thick and fast. Bukayo Saka putting pen to paper on a new deal until 2031 has sent the fanbase into raptures. Most agree it's worth more than any big money summer. Signing the local lad committing his future is the ultimate vote of confidence in Arteta's project. There's already talk of a statue outside the Emirates if he keeps delivering silverware. Onslaught was typically honest when reflecting on the 0-0 draw. He said, "I am a bit surprised that people think this is a good performance because when we have 60 or 70% ball possession against other teams people find it boring, and now it is a good performance. But again we hardly created a chance and now we say, what a performance. This is who we are. We can dominate possession. We know how to do build-up, but we struggle, obviously, in a few things." The Dutchman admitted his side controlled large spells but were lacking that final spark in the attacking third. The January window is already hotting up with Arsenal heavily linked to a few targets. The club are expected to strengthen, particularly at the back, with Crystal Palace's Marc Guéhi and Newcastle's Tino Livramento both firmly on the radar. There's continued interest in exciting young prospects like Real Madrid's Arda Güler, while Academy gem Ethan Nwaneri has pledged his future despite the usual loan speculation. The flashpoint involving Gabriel Martinelli shoving Conor Bradley, which left the young Liverpool fullback injured, has caused plenty of aggro online and in the papers. Martinelli got away without further punishment, but the debate rumbles on about whether it should have been a red, with some Scousers calling it a proper thuggish challenge. The club's youth pathway remains a big talking point, with the likes of Louis Copley heading out on loan to Crawley Town to get valuable minutes. Meanwhile, news of former Arsenal man Matteo Guendouzi potentially moving clubs keeps the transfer gossip mills turning. All in all, the mood around Arsenal in this country is buzzing with genuine belief, though everyone knows the history of so close yet so far. With a strong squad and Arteta at the helm, The next few weeks will be massive. Come on, you Gunners! Liverpool's new lad shuts down soccer in proper Emirates masterclass. Liverpool nicked a hard-fought point away at the league leaders Arsenal with a gritty 0-0 draw at the Emirates on the 8th of January. The Reds went to North London sitting fourth in the table, facing an Arsenal side that's been flying high and sitting pretty at the top. It wasn't the prettiest spectacle, but Onslaught's men showed real bottle and maturity to keep the Gunners at bay in what was a proper defensive display. The real talking point coming out of the match has been the performance of summer signing Milos Kerkez. The £40 million left-back from Bournemouth, only 22 years old, was thrown straight into the deep end against one of the Premier League's most dangerous wide men in Bukayo Saka. Early doors, Saka gave him a bit of a skinning, but Kerkez quickly got his head sorted and turned the tables. Journalist David Lynch, chatting to Dave Davis on Anfield Index, couldn't hold back his admiration for the young Hungarian. He called Kerkez phenomenal and properly laid into the lazy critics who've been calling him rubbish all season. "I thought he was phenomenal. I really need someone to explain why people think that he is rubbish because he is a brilliant player," Lynch said, proper baffled by the narrative. Lynch went on to point out what anyone who actually watched the game would have seen: Kerkez winning his tackles, coming out on top in his duels, and locking Saka down so tightly that the Arsenal star got hooked early. "Saka ends up getting took off early because he was locked down by Kerkez," he added, hammering home how the young fullback made Arsenal's right flank a non-event for large spells. The praise didn't stop there. Lynch reckons Kerkez has been putting in top-draw shifts all season that have flown under the radar, and after this showing, he's already one of the best left-backs in the league. He's only 22 and is already one of the best left-backs in the league. "I thought he was fantastic again," the journalist declared, giving the lad the credit he's long overdue. Kerkez even picked up Man of the Match honours for his efforts, a nice bit of recognition after months of unfair stick. Jamie Carragher had a cheeky quip about it being like having Darwin Núñez at left-back, but the performance spoke louder: assertive, front-footed, decisive in the tackle, and sharp on the recovery. This sort of display is exactly what Liverpool needed in a big away game against the title favourites. It's a reminder that reputations in football can be harsh, especially when you join a massive club young. The scrutiny is relentless, but the credit is often in short supply. For Slot and the lads, grinding out a clean sheet and frustrating Arsenal's attack will feel like a moral victory. With the Reds still very much in the mix this season, performances like Kerkez could be the difference when the business end rolls around. All in all, while the scoreline stayed blank, the headlines are full of praise for a young defender who's starting to silence the doubters the proper way on the pitch. Up the Reds! Thanks for watching Arsenal Time. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Continue following the Gunners' journey with us, and see you in the next video. Come on, you Gunners!